Texas fans, let's talk. First off, I want to say congratulations to Alabama for destroying Notre Dame. I was really hoping for a good ball game, and after the first series, that joker was over. And hopefully, I'm not saying Notre Dame belonged in the game because of the system we have, but hopefully in the coming years, the new +1 format will take care of that, where we will have a better matchup in the national championship. But what Saban's done there at Alabama, it's a legit dynasty. So congrats to those guys. But let's focus on the Texas Longhorns. I said that after the Alamo Bowl, my Alamo Bowl video, I was going to have a video after the season was over to pretty much just give my thoughts on the season and where Texas goes from here, and did this team meet expectations? Well, first, let's roll through this. If you told me before this season what we knew about this team, you said, hey, you guys are going 9-4, you'll win your bowl game, and the teams you're going to lose to are West Virginia, Oklahoma, TCU, and Kansas State. Before the season started, I would have probably said, yeah, that sounds all right. And I probably would have been okay with it because of where this team was 2 years ago after Colt left and that Gilbert's first season. They got a little bit better last year. That would have been an improvement. 2 more wins, and pretty much, especially before the season started, all 4 of those teams, I would have told you, they'll probably beat Texas. But this also proves why, last year I got a little bit of, not too much, but some people gave me some grief for stopping making videos last year for the Cowboys and Longhorns. And I told them because at the time, I was working on the weekend, didn't get a chance to watch the full games live as they happened. And I didn't want to be a highlight fan who just came home, watched SportsCenter, looked at the box score, read some stats, and then formed my opinion about what I think the team is doing. I feel like that does you guys a disservice, does me a disservice trying to put this out there. And this season is a perfect example of that. Because this team went 9-4, won an Alamo Bowl against a quality opponent, Oregon State. But if you watch the games, if you watch this season, you'll know this team has way more issues than a 9-4 team probably should. I went to the West Virginia game, got to go to Austin, got tickets to that game, and it was close, back and forth. We should have, but almost did pull it out. But at the time, the Heisman frontrunner, Geno Smith, and the West Virginia Mountaineers are just too much for Texas. And at the time when we left that game, I was disappointed they lost, but I was very encouraged by the fact that, hey, this is a team that we went toe-to-toe with possibly the best team in the country, and we could do a lot better. Well, West Virginia was exposed as the year went on, and so was Texas the following week against Oklahoma, where Oklahoma pretty much treated us like we were the Tulane Green Wave, and just embarrassing. When that happened, that's when most of us Texas fans realized that this team was not very good. Talented, could play well in spurts, but just overall was not coached well, and was not put in the right position to win. The best win this team had this year was in Lubbock against Texas Tech. That was against a quality opponent at the time. The team as a whole played well for an entire ball game. And at that point, I thought the Horns had turned a corner. Because before that, after Oklahoma, and they still count as wins, so that adds that 9-win total. But of course, as you watch the games, you'll know that that was a facade. You look at the fact that the Baylor game, where the only reason Texas won that game was because Baylor fumbled there near the end. That was just 2 teams that couldn't tackle for a whole game. And then the Kansas game, which is still an embarrassment. People forget about it because Texas won, and that's been earlier on in the season. But if you remember that game in Lawrence against one of the worst teams in college football, not just the Big 12, one of the worst teams in college football, Texas had to come back and have a game-winning last-second drive to win that game. But then they go to Lubbock and beat Texas Tech in a very, not convincing fashion, but a strong fashion. They made a strong statement that the season had turned around. Then the following week, they go in at home against Iowa State, and Texas beats Iowa State the way Texas should beat Iowa State. Just rolls them from the get-go. It was never a question. Texas asserted their dominance and destroyed Iowa State. At that point, I thought this team has really turned the corner. This team is getting ready to make that push at the end of the year to have a strong finish and really lead into next season. Well, then TCU happened. A TCU without Casey Pawhall, though Boykin played extremely well. I think Boykin may even give them a better chance. But mainly what that was against TCU was that we ran into a team that was just way more physical than Texas was. And I still look at that game, and I just don't get it because I didn't see any kind of passion from the Texas Longhorns. One, the fan base was not there showing up on Thanksgiving. At the same time, the team looked like they had absolutely no emotion against a TCU team coming into the Big 12 for the first season, looking to make a statement by beating Texas. One of their now in-state teams that they'll be going against every year. And really the flagship of this state for most of the time it's been here. You went in there your first year of the Big 12 in their place and beat them. That's huge to beat Texas like that. So then the following week against Kansas State, Texas didn't have a chance. I don't think they had a chance even if they had beaten TCU. Kansas State was just a better football team than Texas was. But, I mean, just got destroyed. Then the Alamo Bowl happened, and of course the first half was one of the worst halves I've ever seen. And if Goodwin doesn't bust one there in the first half, it's 20-3 going into halftime, maybe worse. And Texas is not digging out of that hole. But the second half was strong. I'm not gonna hate on the Horns for that one because the second half, David Ash came alive. The defense, Okafor, who I believe has really been wasted on a bad defense, got himself a big paycheck at the next level. And the Texas Longhorns won the game, won the Alamo Bowl, and now they're 9-4 going into the next season. But as a Longhorns fan, I find myself wondering exactly what they're going to do next year. Do I think David Ash can be the guy? I do. I think he can be that guy. We've seen him for a large part of the season play extremely well. He's great at play action. He's great throwing the ball down the field. But he doesn't have that mindset that we're used to with the last couple of quarterbacks the Horns have had, with Vince Young and Colt McCoy. Because I still don't have that faith in him. And it's not necessarily a knock on him. It's more the fact that we've been spoiled at Texas when it comes to quarterback play. The fact that, no matter what the score was. I remember back in the 2005 season when we won the national title, we went to Stillwater, and Okie State was just whipping us. I mean, it was just killing us. And going to the second half, was I a little worried? Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, we got Vince. He'll come out. And what's he do? Has the epic 80-yard pump fake where he pump fakes the dude and takes off for 80 for a touchdown. And from there on, it was just a boat race for Texas. And then I don't know how many times Colt McCoy came in and just, when everything looked hopeless, he came in and won a ball game for the Horns. I don't know if Ash is that guy. I think this is a different kind of football team where Texas needs to have that lead, or at least have it extremely close as the game goes on. What's got to get better? Well, that's got to get better. Playing at quarterback, it's got to be more consistent. I think Ash can be that guy. And that being said, the Horns recruiting practices, seeing some of the guys we've passed over, or guys that wanted to come to Texas, and we pretty much told them either to play a different position or told them we're not going to get a scholarship. You can run down the list. Michael Crabtree wanted to come to Texas. We're going to make him play defense. RG3 wanted to be a quarterback. And we said, nah, you can be one of our athletes, or you can play defense, or whatever. So he's not going to do that. And Johnny Manziel, who, coming out of Kerrville, what I've heard is that if the Horns had offered him a scholarship to play offensive line, he would have taken it, because that's how big of a Horns fan he was. Looked at him, don't worry about it. And now you see that he may be one of the greatest quarterbacks. I mean, he had the greatest freshman season any quarterback's ever had, winning the Heisman, that no one's ever done that before. And, I mean, you saw what he did to Oklahoma and the way he plays. So that's a little disconcerting for me. How many guys have we passed over now, if that's the talent, the guys looking at the talent at Texas? I don't know. But as a fan of this team, I don't know where Texas goes from here. And as I said, 9-4, bowl win, that's okay. That's okay. If your expectations were to grow a little bit, then if you see those results, you say, okay, that's no problem. But if you actually watch the games, I feel like this team's regressed. And I don't know what it's going to take to get it back. Is it a coaching change? Is it a personnel change? Is it a mindset change? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what this team does over the offseason and going into next season if they can reassert themselves as a dominant University of Texas football team. Right now, I don't see it. But hopefully they can prove us wrong. But Horns fans, it's rough right now seeing a lot of the teams in the area do extremely well and are on the upswing while we're not. But we'll find out next season. And I'm looking forward to next season. I always am. But the rest of this, also for this channel, is a long video. But since this season's over, football season's over for both the Cowboys and the Longhorns. I may have a Cowboys video up soon. But I guess now it's basketball season. And I'm not going to get to be able to make videos after every Horns game or Mavericks game, though both those teams, I don't know. Well, if you guys want to see it, I'll do it. I just don't know if y'all want to see that, but we'll find out. So, hook 'em Horns, Texas fight, and it's going to be interesting next season to see what kind of changes are made, if any changes are made at all, in Austin. Hook 'em.